So next, we have an interesting presentation by ICRON by Melis Teksan. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Melis Teksan, Director of Supply Chain Services at ICRON. For over 15 years, I have been working with supply chain companies to help them to solve their supply chain planning and optimization challenges. Today, I'm going to mention one of those. But before that, let me ask you this question. What would you do if a cargo ship full of containers filled with very expensive components burns down in the middle of the ocean? So the materials are gone, right? Your production is disrupted. You are left with underutilized capacity. You cannot serve your customers, so customers are unhappy. So every link in your supply chain is actually damaged by this event, right? What would you do? So first, you should make sure that everybody is safe and sound, of course, but then A, would you just hide in the bathroom and cry? Or B, just write your resignation letter? Or C, turn off your computer and just run away? No, none of the above, but I will tell you what to do. This actually happened to one of our clients. So they are a giant in consumer electronics. They are the second largest TV producer in Europe. And TVs are actually very complicated products because they can come in any configuration. There are like infinitely many different types of TVs. And the technology is rapidly changing. So the entire product portfolio of this particular customer is changing every 6 months. So they are buying very valuable components from Far East. There are like 20K plus of them. They are buying them from different suppliers, like 300 plus of them. And the average lead time there is 90 days. And especially after the corona outbreak and also the container crisis, this lead time, this particular lead time went up to 5 months, 6 months or so. And these components are shipped somewhere in Europe. This is where the manufacturing is done. And then the customers are served, again, in Europe. 90% of them are in Europe. And the customer delivery lead time there is only 20 days. So what are the challenges here? The challenges are how to manage this huge difference between the procurement lead time and the sales lead time. Plus, there are so many uncertainties in the supply side, also in the demand side. And plus, you don't know your product portfolio. So you don't know what you are going to produce, you don't know the configurations, etc. But you still need to plan ahead with this information. So what did we do to solve this challenge? We worked with our customer and we set up a S&OP process with them. So many parties are involved here: executive management, sales and marketing, manufacturing, procurement, as well as the R&D. So everybody brings in their goals, targets, constraints. R&D says, okay, I will bring in these components to the picture, these products will be there. And marketing says, I have this market preferences. Executive management says, I have this target for the upcoming planning horizon, which is around 6 to 12 months. Right, they come together. All the constraints and targets are there. And at the end of this S&OP process, we have a consensus plan. And everybody has their own homework. They can execute their plans, right? So the system architecture looks like as follows. We have ICRON S&OP in 2 modes. One, the planning mode. At the beginning of each month, a new S&OP cycle starts. All the targets, all the constraints are gathered together. Scenarios are worked on. Optimization is run, etc. And then you have the plan releases to everybody in the organization. But then what happens? Life happens during the month. You have your realizations, you have your disruptions, etc. So you go to the execution mode where you always re-optimize and readjust your decisions during the month, right? This has two-way integrations with the ERP system, as well as the integration with other planning systems like the material supply planning, order promising, and it goes all the way down to operational level planning, ICRON detailed scheduling. So for ICRON S&OP, as any ICRON product, we use very advanced calculation engines. We use optimization to come up with the best possible solution for all these parties, where we can do constraints modifications on the fly, and we can also do infeasibility analysis. Where do we have some infeasibilities? We have global dynamic pegging engine, which enables us to have this end-to-end visibility, the disruption propagation, and root cause analysis. And of course, you need scenarios. We have scenario engine, where we can have fast in-memory scenario analysis and comparison. So this is the structure that we have. So then what happened? Once this information is received, the disruption, the magnitude of the disruption was identified within an hour. So which components are gone, which production orders are affected, which customer orders are affected, and the solution to that was also ready within 2 hours. So all the alternative scenarios are evaluated and the best one is chosen. So disruption eliminated. So well, how is that even possible, right? So the advantages that we have here, the S&OP cycle and the preparation went down to 3 hours from 1 week. And that 1 week didn't even include any scenario evaluation, any optimization or anything, right? Just one plan. But we have in 3 hours, many scenarios. So with that, you can do this S&OP cycle not only once a month, they do even twice a week, and also on demand. That means if there is a significant event, significant disruption, you rerun it, you rerun the process. And the benefits are listed here. You have lower inventory levels, higher resource efficiency, and most importantly, the promises that you give to the customers, keeping those promises has increased, and hence the financial benefits, of course. So, well, what is the essence to resilience? So you need to have those capabilities. You need to be proactive and robust, as well as responsive. To be proactive with respect to possible future scenarios, you need to have the capability of optimization under uncertainty. You need to know what are the risks that you are taking with respect to possible future scenarios, and you should also take into consideration your risk appetite while making your decisions. And to be responsive to the disruptions that are happening, you need a collaborative platform which can integrate your decisions with the execution. So you should be able to re-optimize your decisions, run multiple scenarios quickly when a disruption occurs. So our platform, our technology platform, ICRON 4D, actually offers them all in one package, right? So I started with a question. I will leave you with more questions, actually. So can you think of the consequences of not having resilience planning? So you will be always vulnerable to shocks. Your cash flows, balance sheets will be always under pressure. So your reliability, your competitiveness is under question, and it can maybe lead to corporate failure in the end. So you should ask yourselves, how can I understand the impact of what's happening out there without incorporating real-time information to my decision-making cycles? This is one. 2, how can I quantify the risk of my decisions with respect to different future scenarios? And 3, the disruptions are real. So do I have the capacity to cope with them, to navigate through this volatile, dark environment? Okay? Think about those. Thank you.